and welcome. Ray Chrisman here with R.L. Chrisman Metal Works. Well, I'm back here today for the second part of this series on making this fire piston. This time we need to actually make the piston itself. Let me clean up this piece of aluminum a little bit and then we'll get started. Okay, whoops, that's the wrong one. I'm going to center drill the end of this. Which will serve a couple of purposes. One, so that I can hold the work while we're turning it down, and two, what's left of that center drill hole when we're done will be the hole where we put our tar cloth in this piston. So anyway, center drill this real quick. Okay, I'm back here now. I started turning down the barrel on that just slightly, but I'm going to go ahead and get a knurl put on the end of this. Slow that down again here. Well, I'm back here now working on this piston part for the fire piston. The cylinder is done and all knurled. The handle on the piston is knurled. Now I just need to cut an O-ring groove in the end of this piston. I've tapered the end of the piston to match the taper from the drill bit that's in the bottom of the cylinder. What I'm using here to cut this O-ring groove is an old tool bit that had been sharpened at one point for cutting threads, and it has a chip breaker cut in it. So because of that, my fancy new shims I made don't fit with this particular tool, so I'm going to have to add a shim under here to get it up high enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the groove down a little bit Then I'm going to put the O-ring on it and see if it fits in the cylinder or not. And if it doesn't, I'll cut a little bit more, and I'll just keep cutting until I get the O-ring to the to where it's the right size when it's in that groove, so that it just slides inside the cylinder real nice. So anyway, let me start cutting this. Alright, let me get the O-ring out here. And we'll test fit this. See if I've got that cut deep enough yet or not. I have a feeling it'll have to go a little deeper. Yep, doesn't quite want to go on there yet. Goes on there, but I think it's just a hair too tight. So if I can get that O-ring back off, I'll cut it just a tiny bit deeper. Maybe it's trying to tell me it wants to be that size. I guess when that cylinder and O-ring are lubricated, maybe that will be the right size. Maybe I'll just leave that. So anyway, let me pull this out of here. Here's the finished piston. The handle on it has been knurled. Piston itself has been cut down. I'm just using the hole from the center drill, the small center drill, to put the char cloth in. As you can see, the end of it's tapered, so it'll match the taper from the drill bit that's in the bottom of the cylinder. The O-ring groove is cut, the O-ring is on there. The outside of the cylinder has been knurled, the back part of it here is just cut clean. That's where I had it in the chuck, and I didn't want to smash the knurls, so anyway, that is the fire piston. Let me go get a little bit of char cloth, and I'll see if I can make this thing work for you on the camera. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got just a small piece of char cloth here. That one's actually probably bigger than what I need. Let me tear it down a little. Put that char cloth down in that center hole on the end of that piston. And it's sticking out a little bit, maybe too much. Take and put a little bit of oil on that O-ring just to get a better seal. Doesn't look like that char cloth wants to light. Well, I've got a new piece of char cloth in here. Probably sticking out a little bit more than it should be, but what I'm going to do, I haven't had any luck with this particular one hitting it like this and getting it started by hand, but I have made it work if I take it and hold it like this and hit it down hard on a wood surface. I seem to get enough compression in it to do that. So let me do that real quick, and I'll come back and show you if it lights. Well, it took several tries, but I did get it. You can see that piece of char cloth glowing there, and then you just take something with kind of a little point on it, a little pin or needle or something, pull it out of there and set it down in your tinder and light your fire. But anyway, it just goes to show that a fire piston does actually work. You can actually start an ember with it and then work from there to start your fire. But anyway, there's that project completed. And like I said, this cylinder and piston is only about 3 inches long, and from the recommendations that I saw online, most of them I guess are a little bit longer than that, somewhere around 4.5, maybe even 5 inches. Maybe they're getting a little bit higher compression out of them that way. This one does work, not every time, but it does work, as well as the first one that I made. They look a little bit different. I just rounded off the end down here on this one instead of leaving it like this. This one's a little bit smaller diameter. I wasn't working to any particular size. I was just cleaning it up and then milling it. Pistons are about the same length. I have got both of them to work for a first attempt at making fire pistons. I'm pleased with them. I may try to make some more of them with a little bit longer cylinder and piston and see if they work better, but at least I know that these do work. So anyway, there you have it. This project is complete. I'm Ray Chrisman with R.L. Chrisman Metalworks. Thank you for watching. and happy machining.